Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be Andy, aka K3, and yeah, I'm back, bringing you guys the commentary for the C-Star League from Tulane University, and this one is gonna be played against University of Houston, which I believe Tulane has played against in week 2, but I don't know like how the league thing happens. So we got the pink Terran player I'm gonna call him Snipe. We got Snipe in the left position, and we got MnMxHay, the red Protoss player. So we got a Terran versus Protoss matchup here in Antigua Shipyard. As you can tell by the chat, this apparently is a cross-spawn only. Obviously, this is a 4-player map, so players can, in general, spawn here, 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 and here. But apparently, this is only cross-spawn. Snipe going to be opening up with the supply depot at the entrance. Once again, going to be blocking off his ramp, most likely. MnMxHay going to be bringing down his probe to the correct position because, hey, apparently it's only cross-spawn. And MnMxHay going to be bringing it out the 13 gateway, it looks like. No, the 12 gateway, as always. Per usual. How could I be so ignorant of his build? I should know that by now. MnMxHay going to be a little annoying with his first probe. Zapping at that SCV that's trying to build a building. Don't get stuck, don't get stuck. Watch your probe, watch your probe. Oh, it's going to die. That is not good, and MnMxHay now needs to send out another probe because, like, the probe got there kind of early for a 4-player map, and, you know, we haven't gotten to the point where the Terran player really shows anything. So, you know, the Terran player can conceivably go grab a fast expansion or gas for a 1-1-1 opening or like a 3-racks opening. So MnMxHay should be sending out a probe, but he's not, and now he's going to be playing in the dark the entire time. And it looks like he's saving up for possibly a fast expansion. I don't see any gas by him. CyberNext are going to be coming up for MnMxHay. No second gas just yet. I did want to mention that my previous broadcasts have been in slightly lower quality, and I believe that was mainly due to my graphics card. And, whoa, pulling out all his probes and going to be getting the scouting SCV, but he misclicks the mineral patch. And so, anyway, it does look like Snipe is going to be going for the fast expand, and he's also going to be dropping it at the actual expansion rather than at his main. But, yeah, as I was saying, I do really like this move out from MnMxHay because he doesn't know what his opponent is doing. Therefore, he needs to be sending out his first solid and stalker out into his opponent's front door. Obviously, Snipe going to be prepared for this with the bunker at his natural, but MnMxHay will be able to get the scout out that now that he is getting the fast expansion. So the 1-gate robo opening is actually going to be okay. I think that's actually kind of dangerous without knowing first that without the knowledge that Snipe is going for a fast expand. I think 1-gate robo is a little dangerous, but that's not going to matter. We got a huge nope, never mind. We got main arting of SCVs as the command center is finishing up, and 3 more barracks is going to be on the way. Looks like MnMxHay going to be popping down his own Nexus. And it looks like he's going to get the Stalker in, but the supply depot does get in just in time. It looks like the Stalker is getting focus fired, and it does go down. So trading like, I think the Zealot has killed a Marine and now an SCV, and then the Stalker killed an SCV, but I think it would have actually been much better if he just sent out the Stalker only and kept the Zealot at the watchtower, but whatever. Observer now coming out for MnMxHay, 2nd and 3rd gateway gun coming out as well, very, very good. And so yeah, my graphics card, I got a new graphics card solely for the purpose of Skyrim, so now I can actually give you guys this broadcast in better quality. The graphic settings is actually on ultra, and I tested it with the earlier cast, and it should be working pretty fine. No lag or anything. Hopefully, I'm like crossing my fingers. We got an early robotics bay coming out for MnMxHay. The expansion has finished, so we should probably expect some main earning probes. There it is. Second and third gateway now finishing up as well, now morphing them into warp gates, obviously. Observer now going to be getting into the base, not really going to be seeing much. MnMxHay actually just got his gas running, so he's going to be pretty marine heavy for a while. Looks like he's working on a tech lab for now. And I believe MnMxHay has seen this. No? Okay, that's kind of bad. He should be... MnMxHay complaining about the lag. I personally think that he should be keeping like a unit over here and sending his observer, you know, like where the production facilities would be, which is generally going to be like in this area or this area. MnMxHay putting a proxy pylon in a weird position. I think this is to spot drops, because normally you'd have a player plant a proxy pylon over here or here. Or even here, to be honest. But it looks like this probe is probably going to be planting a pylon over here as well. I think it's for the drops, but I don't really like that because he doesn't know what his opponent is even getting, right? Like, he finally sees the, you know, like 4 barracks. But, yeah. Snipe now finally going to be working on a factory, and it looks like he's going to be working on a third base. Meanwhile, MnMxHay, I believe he's got a Colossus out, but he's got a very, very small ground army to support it. Which is actually really good for MnMxHay right now because Snipe is going mass marines, and I mean, like, he's not planning on moving out soon either, so this is pretty good for MnMxHay. He's going to need a lot of time to get like more of a ground army to support his Colossi. Range is not upgrading just yet. He's not getting his second and third gas, so obviously he can't support, you know, Colossus and range upgrade quite yet. Looks like he's going to be planting some more spotter pylons. I would actually like it a bit more if he put some more proxy pylons rather than spotter pylons. I dislike the placement of this pylon because it's like having 2 pylons in these 2 directions or positions is doing only one thing, and that's base management. And I mean, base management is done via your game sense rather than, you know, like the placement of your pylons. Plus, proxy pylons are just, you know, much more useful, especially when your opponent is like not going medevacs until he has a third up. Snipe is going to be securing the middle area, so like this area can obviously defend both this and this, but it looks like this command center is going to, yeah, okay, turning back to the correct position. I would really like it if this probe planted a pylon here, or like even here, or even here. Right now he has no real way of spotting, reinforcing his army should he attack. So obviously, you know, he's planning on staying back for a while, but this is kind of just silly. Looks like we're going to see the first engagement of the day. First large engagement anyway. Looks like +1 has finished for the Terran player. MnMxHay obviously has got 0 because, you know, he hasn't had much. He hasn't had the third and fourth gas for a while, and he's also working on double upgrades. Now finally working on the range upgrade as well. Third also coming up for MnMxHay, so we got a pretty big macro game where the favor should be to the Protoss player. The factory is going to be spotting this spotter pylon. Dislike the fact that he took his entire army to take it out. Now, because, you know, like, the Protoss player could have just, like, boom, taken out a third, especially because he got an orbital command rather than the PF. Not that I would like having seeing a PF in this location because it's so easily defended by just placing your units here. But I mean, like, moving out your entire army and then, you know, like, leaving this entrance pretty vulnerable is not good. Scan gonna be going down, gonna be spotting these 5 Colossi. I think it would be a very good idea for MnMxHay to go ahead and move out, like, pretty much now, because Snipe is gonna halt his medevac production and only go for Vikings, assuming, you know, he wants to win, because, you know, all he saw were Colossi. Ghost on the way for Snipe as well. Obviously, EMP is like the king of a Protoss's dread, because, you know, Protoss units has a lot of units that have energy, like the Sentry or the High Templars, which are very, very important in engagements. Force fields and Guardian shields from the Sentries are very, very important. And then, you know, like High Templars, they require energy to storm, and storm eats up Marines and Marauders. Not to mention that they can also feed back ghosts. So EMPs are very, very, very strong against Protoss. And it looks like MnMxHay gonna be walling this section off, so that he only has to worry about defending this little area. I do like this, and we got some, you know, nice little pylons for reinforcements in the middle. I'm surprised neither. I'm actually surprised that MnMxHay hasn't moved out yet, because I mean, Snipe is getting a lot of good scans in where he's going to be able to produce a lot of Vikings, and MnMxHay doesn't even have any units to defend his Colossi against the Vikings, mainly, you know, the Stalkers. He's got mainly a Zealot, Sentry, Colossi force. It looks like he's going to be morphing in some Archons. Meanwhile, we got Snipe taking the gold, and this one will most likely be a Planetary Fortress. Yes, it is. And we've got, looks like 8 Vikings for the Terran player. Can obviously take out the Colossi when there's no you know, Stalkers to defend. And it looks like we have a small medevac drop in the main. High Templar are going to be able to feed back and take out the medevac instantly, and it looks like the Colossi are able to take out the handful of Marauders. I actually really don't like that single drop, unless he attempted a drop over here, which I don't think he did. I mean, that drop was solely for the purpose of trying to get this base running, but I think he could have done a lot more damage. But it looks like he's MnMxHay is pretty well defended in the left position, particularly against drops. The photon cannon is obviously purposely positioned on the edge of the left side so that medevacs can get in. Excuse me, something is totally stuck in my throat and it's making me like. Anyway, looks like we also have a 4th base out of Snipe, but it looks like it's being spotted by this Zealot, and it's also, you know, keeping it from landing. So we've got a small engagement in the middle of the map. Looks like we have a nuclear missile detected in this game. That's really fun. And we got a lonely pro planting a pylon here. Probably cancel. That's like the scariest moment for a probe ever. An entire Terran army moving out. Oh dear. It looks like the 4th is going to have to get cancelled, but looky here, it looks like MnMxHay is also going to be expanding to the left side. While he moves his army to the right side, I really do like this. The Viking count has gotten ridiculously high now, and so these Colossi are just going to get eaten up. And yeah, this is the reason why. Like once you know 6 of those colossi got spotted, I think he really needed to move out because now the Vikings have arrived in huge numbers, and you know he's going to be able to clean up this army because colossi were the main damage dealers against these Marines and Marauders, but the colossi weren't able to do a whole lot because of the Vikings. Zealots are trying to be warping in. I think he should be backing up to the 3rd, where he's got the uphill advantage and a little more, you know, time to recuperate. But it looks like this is just going to be a clean win for the Terran player. I would be very surprised if MnMxHay is able to come back from this. Looks like 3 more Archons are going to be working in, but I mean, this army is fairly big, and we got a big rally point. Slew of units rallying into the middle of the game, or middle of the map, and it looks like MnMxHay is going to be calling the GG, so game 1 is going to be going to University of Houston. Alright, so that was game 1, and I will be right back with game number 2.